Good morning. Today, we are going to discuss about some important applications of refrigeration. It basically deals with cooling bodies or fluids to the temperature lower than those of surrounding. This involves absorption of heat at a lower temperature and rejecting it to a surrounding with higher temperature. In olden days, the main purpose was to produce ice, which was used for cooling beverages, food preservation, and refrigerated transport, etc. But nowadays, refrigeration finds so many applications that they have become very essential for the mankind. And without this, the basic fabric of society will be adversely affected. Refrigeration is basically treated as a single subject due to the fact that one of the most important applications is in cooling and dehumidification as required for summer air conditioning. Of course, refrigeration is required for many applications other than air conditioning, and air conditioning also involves process other than cooling and dehumidification. The temperature range of interest in refrigeration extends down to about -100 degrees centigrade. Nowadays, refrigeration has become an essential part of food chain, from post-harvest heat removal to processing, distribution, and storage. Also, it has become essential for many chemical and processing industry to improve the standard, quality, precision, and efficiency of many processes. Ever new application of refrigeration arises all the time. Some special applications require small capacities but are technically challenging. The major applications of refrigeration can be categorized into following four major equally important areas: food processing, preservation and distribution, chemical and process industry, special applications, and comfort air conditioning. Now let us see these categories in detail. First one, the application of refrigeration in food processing, preservation, and distribution. The first application here is storage of raw fruits and vegetables. It is a well-known fact that some bacteria are responsible for degradation of food, and enzymatic processing cause ripening of fruits and vegetables. The growth of these bacteria can be reduced at low temperature. This helps in reducing the spoilage and improving the life of food. It can be seen on the table, which is showing the useful storage life of some plant and animal products. It can be seen that the storage temperature affects the useful storage life significantly. In general, the storage life of most of the food products depend upon the water activity, which essentially depends upon the presence of water in liquid form in the food product and its temperature. Hence, it is possible to preserve food product for much longer period under frozen condition. In case of fruits and vegetables, the use of refrigeration start right after the harvesting to remove the post-harvesting heat, transport in refrigerated transport to cold storage or processing plant. A part of it may be stored in cold storage to maintain its qualities, and a part may be distributed, where again refrigeration is used for short time storage. Depending upon the size, the required capacity of refrigeration plants for cold storage can be very high. Ammonia is one of the common refrigerant used in cold storage. In these pictures, we can see the photograph of typical cold storage and the refrigeration plant which is used in this cold storage. Second application is in dairy products. The important dairy product such as milk, butter, buttermilk, and ice cream. To maintain the good quality, the milk is cooled in bulk milk cooler immediately after being taken. Bulk milk cooler is basically a large tank that cools it between 10 to 15 degrees centigrade. Then it is transported to dairy farms where it is pasteurized. Pasteurization involves heating up to 73 degrees centigrade and holding it at this temperature for 20 seconds. Thereafter, it is cooled to 3 to 4 degrees centigrade. The dairies should have a very large cooling capacity since a large quantity of milk has to be immediately cooled after arrival. During the lean period, the refrigeration plant are used to produce ice that is used during the peak periods to provide cooling by melting. This reduces the required peak capacity of the dairy plant. Ice cream manufacture requires pasteurization, thorough mixing, emulsification, stabilization, and subsequently cooling to 4 to 5 degrees centigrade. Then it is cooled to temperature of about minus 5 degrees centigrade in a freezer where it stiffens but still remains in liquid state. It is packaged and hardened at minus 30 to minus 25 degrees centigrade until it becomes a solid, and then it is stored at the same temperature. Buttermilk, curd, and cottage cheese are stored at 4 to 10 degrees centigrade for increasing their useful life. Use of refrigeration during manufacture of these items also increases their life. There are many varieties of cheese available these days, and adding cheese starters like lactic acid and several substances to the milk make all of these. The way it is separated and solid part is thawed for a long time at about 100 degrees centigrade to make a good quality cheese. Then another application is in meat and poultry industry. These items also require refrigeration right after slaughter. During processing, packaging, short-term storage is done at 0 degrees centigrade, while long-term storage capacity may require a temperature of minus 25 degrees centigrade. Long-term storage means in most of the places, this meat and poultry items have to be transported. So it will be taking a long time to reach its destination. For that duration, we require such a low temperature. Refrigeration in food processing is also required for fish. Icing of fish, according to ASHRAE Handbook on Application, started in 1938. In India, iced fish is still transported and the retail stores store it for short period by this method. The freezing of fish aboard the ship right after the catch result in better quality than freezing it after the ship docks. In some cases, it is frozen along with seawater since it takes months before the ship return back to dock. Long-term preservation required cleaning, processing, and freezing. Then another industry where the refrigeration is widely used is in candy. In making of chocolate, the use of chocolate in candy or its coating with chocolate requires setting at 5 to 10 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, it will become sticky. Further, it is recommended that it is to be stored at low temperature for better taste. Another industry or another example is processing and distribution of frozen food. Many vegetables, meat, fish, and poultry are frozen to sustain the taste, which nearly duplicates that of fresh product. Freezing retains the sensory qualities of color, texture, and taste, apart from nutritional quantities. The refrigeration system for frozen food application are very liberally designed since the food items are frozen in shortest period of time. The sharp freezing temperature, often below -30, is done so that the ice crystal so that the ice ice crystal formed during freezing do not get sufficient time to grow and remain small and do not pierce the cell boundary and damage them. Ready-to-eat frozen food, packed dinners, bakery items are also frozen by this method and stored at the temperature of -25 to -20 degrees centigrade for distribution during peak demand or off-season demand. Vegetables in this list are beans, corn, peas, carrot, cauliflower, and many others. Most of these are blanched before freezing. There are various processing of freezing. Blast freezer give a blast of high velocity air at -30 on the food container. In contact freezing, the food is placed between the metal plates and metal surface are cooled to -30 or lower. Immersion freezing involve immersion of food in low temperature solution. Individual quick freezing is done by chilled air at very high velocities like 5 to 10 meter per second, such that keeps the small vegetable particles or shrimp pieces floating in air. The frozen particles can be easily packed and transported. The refrigeration capacities in all the freezer are very large since freezing of large quantities is done in a very short time. Liquid nitrogen and carbon dioxide are also used for freezing purpose. Another example is, or another application is beverages. The production of beer, wine, and concentrated fruit juice require refrigeration. The taste of many drinks can be improved by serving them cold or by adding ice to them. This has been done, or this has been one of the favorite pastime in all the countries. Natural or man-made ice for this purpose has been made available since a very long time. The fruit juice concentrate have been popular because of low cost, good taste, and nutritional qualities. Juices can be preserved for a long time than the fruit. Also, these concentrate, when frozen, can be easily shipped and transported. To preserve the taste and flavor of juice, the water is driven out of it by boiling it at low temperature under reduced pressure. The concentrate is then frozen and transported at -20 degrees centigrade. Wine making requires fermentation at controlled temperature. For example, a lager type of beer require 8 to 12 degrees centigrade, while wine require 27 to 30 degrees centigrade. Fermentation is an exothermic process, hence heat has to be rejected at a controlled temperature. Of late, supermarket refrigeration is gaining popularity all over the world. At present, this constitutes the largest sector of refrigeration in developed countries. In a typical supermarket, a large variety of products are stored and displayed for sale. Since a wide variety of products are stored, the required condition vary widely. Refrigeration at temperature greater than 0 degrees centigrade and less than 0 degrees centigrade is required, as both frozen and fresh products are normally stored in same supermarket. The refrigeration system used for supermarket have to be highly reliable due to the considerable value of highly perishable product. To ensure proper refrigeration of all the product, a large of refrigerant tubing is used, leading to large inventory. So these were some applications in the first category, that is food processing, preservation, and distribution. The remaining categories of application of refrigeration, that is chemical and process industries and special applications, will be done in our next session. Thank you.